So what do I need to know about this guy?
Stan Hurley. He's a warrior. Ex-Navy SEAL. My daddy served with him in the Persian Gulf.
In the books, up till really American Assassin, he was sort of this mysterious character out there that everybody thought was great, and you were like, oh, we're going to talk to Stan Hurley, but you didn't really understand him. I didn't anyhow, and I never really got to see enough of him. So this is our opportunity to really actually see why. In the earlier books, he was always painted as this legend. Now we get to see why he was painted as a legend, if you would.
Well, I keep saying he's the ultimate pragmatist. He's a cut and dried, bottom line. Everything and everyone is disposable.
Lead. Dead. Mission terminated.
Exfil's to secure location.
I've never played anybody quite like that.
We were so fortunate to all determine to go after Michael Keaton for this part, because we have not seen Michael Keaton do this kind of movie before. He's done incredible performances leading into this movie, where his acting in dramas has been so noted and acclaimed. And we wanted Hurley not to be just a rubber stamp kind of action guy. We wanted him to be somebody with great depth of character that could really do the drama that was inherent in his part.
Scumbag.
Spare me your junior Euro broad moral opinion, Mitch Rapp.
Not really an opinion, sir. Sharif's a piece of shit.
It's not a crusade. This mission is practical. Don't make it
Personal?
Exactly.
Yes, sir.
One of the reasons why we were excited to cast him is I can't think of a movie where he did this, and therefore that's the freshest version of Stan Hurley.
You let emotion cloud your judgment. Never let it get personal.
So for us, we were thrilled when he was interested in doing it, because it felt like we knew as an actor, he's such a good actor, that he would be able to portray the character. But we didn't want anybody to feel, oh, we're doing the cliche version.
When people cast Michael Keaton to do strong dramatic material, they always expect him to break into the comedic thing that he does so well. But when he decides just to be a rock-steady, hardcore, tough guy, he can do it as well as anybody, because he's such an accomplished actor.
Look at this.
That kind of bullshit can shut us down. This kid can't even follow fucking orders.
Victor got made, Rapp didn't. Rapp killed Sharif and brought us his laptop. You got anybody in the right who can do what he did?
What is it with this kid gives you such a hard on?
He's really fun and cool, and he's a joker, but he has this intensity.
It's difficult, once you get established as something, it's really hard to have people see you in different ways and then say, I don't know, let them try this. And so I'll give myself a little credit in doing that, but also I've been really lucky that I had opportunities to play different things, and I haven't played anybody like him. I've played other guys who are hardened and what you might call badasses, but I mean, Bruce Wayne's pretty much of a badass, actually.
When you look at it as Batman, I think in a way is really interesting, because as Bruce Wayne, he's edgy. That's where I find it interesting, And when I first heard he was cast as Batman, you were like, Batman, really? And then when you watched it, it was like, it's that edge of who he is. You can see it in his eyes when the mask is on. There's an edginess to him. And that may or may not have been someone's vision of Stan Hurley, but that's a version of Stan Hurley that gives him that sort of causticness, tension from that guy, because there's a lot of things about him trying to put people on their heels. And I think when the way Michael approaches a lot of this stuff, he puts you on your heels, not because he's coming at you, because you're not exactly sure where he's going, which I think is great for the character.
Hurley is like a modern, I think he's a John Wayne kind of the new millennial.
Survey 2, you better let me hear you fucking confirm. God damn it, this is a fucking mess.
We're out of here. And Keaton nails that because he brings an unpredictability to the guy. You could have gone down really a straight road with a character like that, but Michael brought obviously a little bit of sort of humor, but not a, Beetlejuice way, just a little more complex, unpredictable A little insanity in there.
Ah! Damn! Oh,
Now, what's that third mistake, Stan? Huh? What is it?
I got 9 more. I like this. I like it. Rip it on, motherfucker!
I mean, I'm biased, obviously, but it is a great character, and I think Keaton's perfect for it. There's that wryness to him, which Keaton has in spades.
And, you know, casting Keaton fits with what we think is the foundation of this movie. It's an action thriller, but there's incredible drama for all the characters, and we knew that we could have a hopefully distinct action thriller if the drama was so strong as its foundation, and that's what would keep everybody glued into this picture, is really being invested in the character.
His intentions are correct. You know, how he goes about them, they're not correct or incorrect. They're what needs to be done. You know, he does what needs to be done. But you're right, he's not a bad guy, and he's a good guy in the sense of what's the ultimate goal? What are we all trying to do here? So he's certainly a good guy in that regard, and he's heroic, and he's, I mean, beyond brave. You know, is this guy's, you know, just got, you know, huge cojones, and you know, to do what he does, how he wants to do it, and rebellious in his own way, has his own way of doing things.
Team, I can tell you, but Mitch.
What's that third mistake, Stan?
Mitch,
I can't hear you.
And he represents, and again, a different generation entirely of how to look at the world. To him, it's awfully black and white. And ironically, Mitch is the one person who's going to begin to affect that perception.
Orion is about the mission. It ain't about you. You go down out there, you're a ghost. You don't exist. There's nobody coming back for you.
Yeah, it's really cool having, you know, the antagonist of the story sort of be the former protagonist in another, you know, movie that we didn't really see.
Taylor Kitsch is one of Lorenzo and my favorite actors. We had met with him at an earlier stage while playing the Mitch Rapp character.
I had this script. They asked me to play Rapp like 3 years ago.
And ultimately, when the Mitch Rapp character was remaining in his mid-20s and we were looking for a younger actor, then Lorenzo and I thought, Taylor Kitsch could be a really good idea to approach for Ghost.
And then like 3 months ago, Lorenzo's like, hey, we're gonna actually fucking do this. Do you wanna play the other guy? And I'm like, all right, send it over. And then it wasn't this like the Ghost wasn't Ghost in the first script at all. So it's a cool little twist, man.
But you know something, I don't blame them. I blame you.
Never would have happened if you would have followed orders, Ronnie.
You go down out there, you're a ghost, you're a John Doe. You get captured.
Ah, you remember. That's very gratifying. Thank you. You made me proud today, Ron.
Cuesta did a really great job, I thought, and Stephen Schiff in developing that ghost character, because really, if you don't have that, and you only have that big A story and maybe some little B stories underneath, the movie, I'm not saying it doesn't work, but it doesn't work nearly as well, especially for the character of Hurley, when you think about it. You know, you've got that in your past.
10 men would have died, maybe more. You disobeyed orders. You put all those lives in jeopardy. Fuck orders. Fuck the mission. This was me. I believe that. You made me believe that.
The construction of Ghost is this idea of a guy who's wildly competent and feeling betrayed. And unfortunately for every one of us is the skills to do something that could be really dangerous. So he needed to have that sense of like, wow, that is, you uncorked the wrong force.
It can't be him. Our drones took him out after the embassy bombing at Bamako.
We never got a positive ID. That's our mad dog out there.
All right. Let's say it's him.
It's him, Irene.
This gives us a chance to kill 2 birds with 1 stone.
For Ghost is like, you made me this way, you know? you're gonna pay for this because I was good, you know? I was doing what I was supposed to do, and you guys didn't care about me.
And the idea of not knowing where he is, he's out there somewhere. Now you go, wow, I've got to go right that. I've got to go correct that if I can. You know, I kind of created it. Then he created his own thing. That's a really good sub-story. That's a really good driving force for this movie.
All right.
Let's get over with. Nah, you'd like that, wouldn't you? I ain't gonna kill you.
I love that turn, you know, that this guy who's literally bred through this program is seeking redemption on such a personal note. And that was everything to me. Because, I mean, again, you go back to the cliche and it's just like, you can't make cliche that great.
You're gonna live to see the crown of your creation, Stan. Thousands of Americans are gonna burn. All because of you.
The whole movie more or less rests on those scenes with Keaton, you know, the torture scenes, and that's everything to Ghost. Because, you know, at the beginning you don't understand why, or, you know, I'm taking lives, innocent lives, and I mean, that's big for me too. It's being like, why am I fucking doing all this, you know?
It was important that you pity him. What he's doing is horrible. It's the most worst thing in the world. He's a bad guy. He needs to go away. But at the same time, part of you relates to his badness and his reason for doing what he does.
I like that duality of incredibly manly, if you would, and tough, machismo even, right? And yet a real strong sense of brotherhood, you know, which don't always coexist. So that seemed like a really interesting person who you would never expect to be a villain, you know, and therefore you're kind of, part of you is kind of leaning into his story, like, he has a point, you know, like, I don't like what he's doing, but he has a point.
You should have come for me. 10 men would have died. You put 10 men's lives in danger because you couldn't follow a fucking order. Fuck you.
Fuck orders. Fuck the machine. This was me. I was your boy. I believe that. You made me believe that.
But you do understand, and I think at least for a beat there, you'll understand, or at least have some sympathy or whatever it is you're gonna feel, hopefully, through those scenes. So that was incredible for me to be like, to have these beats and be like, okay, this is why this guy does it. And, you know, to get all actory, it's like you need that motivation to reason for these kind of crazy acts that he's doing.
Well, it makes my job a hell of a lot easier working with guys like that, you know? And it's just incredible to watch, and it's nice to learn from, you know? There's no better way to kind of like learn how to go about your job than watching, you know, the best go about theirs. So both on Deepwater and this, I've gotten to work with guys that I've admired since I was a little kid, and that I've been watching my entire life.